Welcome to Arrow Slingers on YouTube, guys. What I thought we'd do today is go through my standard practice routine. So I'll probably do this routine 50% of the time. Other times I'll do something a bit more specific if I'm practicing me doubles or me scoring or switching to 19s. Could be something specific like that I would be doing. Probably the other 50% of the time I'll alternate from something specific to this simple routine. It's an all-round routine that I find does the job for me, and it covers a little bit of everything. Maybe an hour to an hour and a half this routine will take, but it's all up to you of how you're feeling, how the games are going, and yeah, how they're coming out. This is definitely one that if I'm throwing well, I won't go too long, and one where I definitely will try and get myself into a groove, whereas if I'm doing specifically doubles, I'll have a set amount in time. Specifically scoring, I'll have a set amount or set list that I'm going to do. This is more of a feel session. And yeah, I'll try and, if it takes 2 hours to get myself feeling right, that's what I'm going to do. Or it could just be going completely horrible and I might just put the darts down. But normally not so. Normally I'll try and work myself into form with this because that's what this one is all about. So to start off, it is a pretty simple warm-up and it's not a long one, maybe 6 to 12 darts, just straight at the triple 20, just to get the hand going, get the darts moving and warm up. So it's the start of the session. As I said, just straight darts. We'll attempt at straight darts. It can be, I normally aim for roughly that 12 mark or just until I feel relatively smooth and at ease. But as I've said in the past, I do take a very long time to get myself into form. So yeah, straight darts, it's pretty simple and not much to it. All right, the next game the next drill after just getting some straight darts, Bob's 27. Now, I think there is a few different varieties of this. Not 100% sure, but this is how I play it. You start off with 27 points. You probably will use your phone for this. A lot of the times I don't like to be punching in, writing down things, but this one you will probably need a calculator or something along those lines. Sometimes you can count in your head. It's good to try and practice counting in your head because that gets you working on your counting. But you start off with 27 points, and then you're going to have 3 darts at each double from 1 right through to 20, and then the bullseye. If you don't hit the double, so we'll start off with double 1. If you don't hit the double 1 with any of your 3 darts, you drop 2 points because that's what that double's worth. If you hit all 3, you gain 6 points because that's what 3 double 1s is worth. And you just keep moving your way around. So for instance, you're up to double 10. If you've got 40 points and you hit 1, that's worth 20 points. You move to 60. If you hit none, you go from 40, you take 20 points off, you drop to 20. If you don't hit any doubles, I think you make it through to double 6 or something along those lines, but you want to be hitting those doubles by then. I normally just play the 1 round and then move on because a lot of the times you're going for all the doubles, which at some stage you might have to go for all those doubles, but it's not often. It's not often you leave double 7, it's not often you leave double 3, so it's not ideal to practice that. The other downside to that game is when you go inside a double in this, you still get the chance to go for that double, which I don't overly like because if you go inside double 9 in a game, you have to split. You have to go 1 double 4. So it's a little bit different, but it's just practicing your doubles. So pretty straightforward game and it's good fun. Right, so Bob's 27. I'll just I won't do a whole round for this. Yeah, it'll just be, we'll start off. I'll probably do 1, 2, and 3, and I'll tell you my score as I'm going. So we're starting on 27 points. So I got none in, which means I lose 2 points. So we drop down to 25. So now we move around to double 2. So I got 1 of those in, so we're adding 4 points to 25, so I'm on 29. So I'll just do double 3 for you. Because no one gets double 3. That should be a good guide. No. So I would then lose 6 points, putting me back down to 19. The only thing I don't like with Bob's 27 is, as you'll see here, I'll put my hand on it, I've gone inside with one of those darts. In a real match, when you go inside a double, you don't get another crack at that double. You've got to move on. So that's the only thing with some of the doubling games is that, yes, you get to practice them, but it's not always a good idea to practice when you wouldn't do that in a game. But that's Bob's 27. All right, so the next thing I do, I don't know if I created this game. I probably didn't, but I'm going to claim it anyway. Not straight, peg is what I call it. And it's pretty simple. All I'm doing is throwing straight darts at the 20s. If I don't hit 3 straight darts, or if I switch, which this game I don't focus on switching at all. I'm focusing on trying to hit those 20s regardless, because there are times when you do want to stay straight. So, for instance, you've got 160 left or 140 left, or even if you've got 164 left and you want to hit a ton to leave 64, generally you want to keep straight, so you may have to move side to side on the oche. So that's what this game's all about. If I don't stay straight and hit either 60, 100, 140, 180, then I've got to peg that number. So for an example, if I go 20, 20, 555, then I've got 55, I've got to try and peg that number. You will get a lot of the same numbers happening and you'll be trying to peg the same numbers, but that's fine. So this game incorporates a bit of both and it trains you to try and stay straight, because sometimes when you're in that frame of mind, it can be annoying when you have to change from that. So if I keep finding myself having to peg every second throw, I'll know that my throw's not going well and I'm not doing something right. So it'll give me a chance to step back, settle, and then try and get those straight darts. It's a bit of a concept that I caught on with watching the test documentary with Usman Khawaja in the nets. Every time they went out, they had to switch nets, and they didn't like it because they didn't like that change when they're trying to focus. So that's something that I work on here, is staying straight, and that pegging aspect of it can be a bit of a nuisance to me when I'm trying to stay straight. So it focuses me and my mind and says, you must stay straight here, because sometimes in a game, there are situations where you have to stay straight or you really want to keep those darts straight. So not straight, peg. Right, so as we discussed, I'm now going to throw darts at the board. I'll probably do this for, as I said, maybe 10, 15 minutes just to continue to get myself nice and warmed up. So one's gone a bit astray and it was an 85. So I'm now going to have a crack at 85. And we all have our own ways to go. I'm sort of struggling with 85. I'll move a bit closer. Sometimes I'll go bull, hopefully to leave 35, then I'll go 3 double 16. Traditional way is triple 15. If you miss that, you go 20 to either leave double 5 or bull. I don't like double 5 or bull as a finish. They're a lot harder finishes for me. So ideally, I want to hit. If I can hit bull or 25, I can either leave 20 for tops. If I hit the 25, I like tops. And everyone loves double 16. So if you hit the bullseye, you're going for 3 double 16. If my opponent is on a finish, I'll go the traditional way of going for the 15s. But I'm really trying to hone in on hitting that bullseye of 25 to leave myself an ideal double. If I'm not under pressure, I'll go that way. So, and 85, when you're doing this game, 85 is a regular score for me. So I will get a couple of different goes at it, so I'll just change it up. So for this one, we'll do our bullseye route. So I've hit the 25, so I'm going to go 20 for tops, 85 peg, 25, 20 tops. So as I said, I like tops, so that's why I've gone that way. And I like double 16. I don't like double 5 or trying to finish on a bullseye. So if my opponent's not on a finish and I've got a little bit less stress, I will go that way. That's Ferrell. That's an 81. So that's a regular numbers that I hit in this game. I'm regularly finishing 81 or 85. So there's not really many other ways to go from 81. So we'll go 19s, 12s, and I've missed that. So now you're just trying to set it up. So that would have left 62. So if that leaves 57, I'll come back for tops. So that's that one. It's a pretty straightforward game. I enjoy it. it teaches you to try and keep straight so you're not straying too much. I don't often do it, and that's when I really start to get frustrated if I'm pegging every single number and I'm not throwing straight darts. But so I will just abandon that game if I have to, and then move on to match play. All right, so the last game you can just do for as long as you want. Could be 5, 10 minutes, could be 15, 20 minutes. I'll just do it until I'm feeling pretty confident and I'm really warmed up. Sometimes it takes me a long time to get my throw where it is, so I might get halfway through this session or even up to that not straight peg before I really start to feel comfortable and really start to hit my groove. I know I probably should focus more on getting that initial warm-up going, but I want to get into this session because it is a lot of fun to me. So the last one is pretty simple. It's just match play from there. If you've been going, if this has taken you 40 minutes so far, it's completely up to you now how long you go for, and it's completely up to you how you do it. So if we have the luxury of having someone to train with, that's ideal. That's the best scenario you could possibly have. If not, you can use a dart bot. That's always good. Can be very, very competitive if you put your own mind towards it being competitive. I've now upped my dart bot to level 7, I think. Very similar on all sorts of apps and scoring calculators and websites. At level 7, I think it's averaging around 60, so it's a good competition for me. I'm just about ready to notch it up to 8. And then, or you can just jump on Naka or Darts Connect or online webcam darts, any of them, and just have a game. It could go for short, long. I always, a lot of the times, sometimes I'll do a long match because that's what my online competition, that's the only thing I play at the moment, is first to 8. Sometimes I'll do that to just really emulate the match that I'm playing normally. Or because I do struggle a lot of the times with that warm-up and getting started, I'll do short matches, so first to 3, best of 5. And that is where I know I have to be switched on from the start and really get into the groove from the get-go. Whereas if I play longer, sometimes I'll settle in and the first 3 legs, I'll just be like, meh, I can try and catch that up later. And a lot of the times that just plays your opponent into form and it can be hard to catch up. So match play, and as long as you want. So lastly, I'll go against the dart bot for however long I feel like I need to, how long I've got left. Sometimes I might feel like, and a first to 8, like I play in my online competitions, I might want to go longer. I might want to do set play. You can set it all up to be whoever you want. So it's pretty straightforward and can be a bit of fun. $60. So as you can see, it's a pretty simple one to use, Dart Connect. It doesn't help with your scoring though. It's the Americans aren't great with scoring, so I think this is more of an American one, but we'll let it be. Hey, 28. So that's a very bad score. But and as you can see, it's still pretty good, Dart Connect. Like, here we are to see your averages along the way as you're playing. $85. So, as discussed before, it does take me a little while to warm up. I've only given a quick rundown of how I would play each match and how I would do each session. So I'd normally be a little bit more warmed up and ready to go. And normally that would be a ton every day of the week. I'd be able to stack on top of that. But so, yeah, a simple tactic for you is you probably don't want to watch me go the whole way against the dart, but when I'm throwing like this. So especially, you've just got to go with how you feel as well, because right now everything's dropping low and it's not going well. So normally I would then just jump out of this and work on just getting my power back. So once again, strangely, that would normally end up as a ton for me with that first start there, because it's just not working out at the moment. As I said, I would normally just drop the matches and just jump in and play normal, throw some normal darts. See, I was so confident I would hit the 333, I didn't switch. So I've left 120. I'll have a quick crack at 120 and then we'll we'll go from there and wrap it up. Oh, I've got to hit the triple now. No good. So we'll stay there to try and leave 20. Oh, 45. So that'll do for that. Let's bring ears back. So that's my simple training routine. That's, as I said, probably 50% of the time that's what I'm doing when I'm settling in for a standard practice night, practice day, practice session, whatever you want to call it. It's that simple thing, straight darts, Bob's 27, so I'm then working on straight darts. It's just a warm-up, it's not really working on straight darts, it's just... So then I'm working on doubles, the not straight peg, that's working on both, and then match play, because match play is the most important thing. And as I've said before, darts is one of those sports where that's the closest thing you can get to emulating the actual match. A lot of other sports, you cannot recreate a match, but in this situation, you can against a dartbot, online, or in person with someone here. So that is the best way to practice darts, is to have someone, whether it's a computer, whether it's online, whether it's in person, it's having someone next to you, forcing your throw to be better, putting that pressure on you is the closest you can get. So I hope that was a bit of a, not an eye-opener, a bit of fun. Use that session and it'll give you something to do, so you don't have to think about what you're going to do. Take that one, roll with it. Let me know how you go. Hit like, hit subscribe, and wait for more videos.